Hi everyone, Catherine here. Welcome to my channel, Cat v Stitches. This is a channel about cross stitch, primarily cross stitch, sometimes a little bit of knitting, although to be honest not much recently, but yeah, mainly cross stitch. So what I'm going to do today is a little stitch with me, so a Flosstube extra where I start my new Carolyn Manning pattern. So anybody who's watched my previous videos, my Flosstube videos, will know that I was stuck trying to decide which one of my Carolyn Manning patterns to do. Whether or not to do this one, which I'm doing now, which is going to be ruby, or turquoise. So this morning I went all old school and basically wrote an R and a T on 2 pieces of paper, folded them up and shuffled them about a bit, picked one, and so I am starting ruby. And I am very sorry, but please do excuse my voice. I've been working from home today. It's 5:30 actually in the evening, and I've not really spoken to many people. I've just been emailing lots of people furiously all day, so my voice is a little bit rusty, so hopefully it'll warm up as we go on. But let me see if I can bring up the pattern for this for you so you can, well, a picture of it, not the pattern obviously. There you go. It's absolutely stunning. I love those colours. So this is one of the Shooting Star collection. I'm already working on Amethyst, and because I am more than 50% through that one, I decided to treat myself and allow myself to start a new one. And then also, because I have just literally at lunchtime today finished my Christmas gift stitching, again I've given myself permission to do a new start. So I had decided that I was going to no, I've not got a picture of this actually, it's on my phone and I'm recording on my phone, but I had decided to do Puntini's Dog Lover. It says dog lovers live here basically on the pattern, and it's this house with some flowers around it and some Puntini badges, and just not badges, sorry, buttons and a needle. So I decided to do one each for my 2 nieces, and it seemed like a really good idea when I started doing them, but my god, there's a lot of stitching in the houses on those patterns, and it's taken me longer than I thought it would, as do most things in stitching. You know, you look at something and think, oh yeah, that won't take long to do, and then 2 months later you still barely started it. But I was determined to get those 2 things done by close of play today, and unfortunately that did mean I stayed up till about 1:30 last night getting the bulk of it done, which I should not have done, especially not on a school night. And it's going to mean that I'll have to miss my Zoom call with Erin from 2 Martini Stitches tonight, which I'm gutted about, because I literally cannot do 2 late nights in a row, and I had completely forgotten last night about the Zoom call today. So Erin's in America and it's 4 p.m. there, but it's midnight over here, and yeah, I'm too old for 2 late nights in a row. I'm not a 20-odd-year-old anymore, so excuse me, I can't cope with that kind of thing, especially when I've got to travel into work the next day because I'm working from the office tomorrow. So yeah, I'm going to try and get an early night tonight. But what I thought I would do, it's the 30th of November, and it is just gone 5:30 here in the UK. So I just thought I'd do a little bit of a stitch on this and see how much we get done. See when I run out of things to say, which probably, I have no idea how long this is going to go on for, because unlike my other ones I've not really got a set topic. I've kind of done my pets and all of that, so I think this is just going to be a bit of a rambly one, but hey ho. I'm sure you'll forgive me, or you'll just literally switch off if you get bored. But anyway, let's get started on this one. So I am using a 14 count Aida it's a Zweigart, and it is blush. So this came on it was 21 inches by 18 inches, and for this pattern, which is, let me just have a look for you, stitches on this are let's have a look, see now. I'm always terrible at getting things prepped for these videos. Here we go. So this is, I don't know if you can see this, so this is 14 count and it is 189 stitches high by 189 width. So what I've got here is the measurements that I'll need, with outer border, with a 1 each border on either side, with a 2 inch border, a 2.5 inch border, blah blah blah. And so I've worked out for this one I'm going to do 2 inch border width but a 3 inch border, height. Length, oh my god, that made no sense, sorry, my brain is like liquid after a full day today, so bear with me, but it's basically 3 inches by 2 inches across, and I've just put my needle in there as to where to put my first stitch. So I am primarily a top left hand corner start, but that's not a fixed thing. That, you know, sometimes I'll start at the bottom, or sometimes I'll start in the middle. But for this one, because I'm quite sure of my measurements, I'm doing a top left hand corner start, and I'm using one of these easy guide needles with the little ball on the end, which are really good for pushing through on fabric or Aida. And unless I am using one thread or 2 threads where I'm not using the loop start because I want to keep the variegation, so I'm doing full crosses, I will use this needle, because I don't know if anybody else finds this, but the problem I have, and it might be because my stitches are quite tight, but that little ball is not very good at burying the thread on the other side, so I often find that I have to change to a slightly sharper needle to bury the threads, because this just isn't very good at that. It could just be me because I am quite vicious with my stitches, but other than that, these are great needles. Anyway, let's get started. My first colour is 666, which is a good start. Where are you? There we go. That does not belong on there. So let's just pull this out. Yeah, so anyway, being at work today, very grateful that I was working from home, because it started to snow here. Well, to be more accurate, it snowed on Sunday, but it hung around all of Monday, and it's just been a miserable day today. So although it wasn't, I mean, don't get me wrong, the snow we have here in England is not, you know, anywhere like where you can get it in other places. You know, there's the one thing about this country is, apart from the odd extremes every now and then, the weather is, in comparison to a lot of places, it is quite mild. Excuse me, yes, I am a thread licker a lot of the time. There we go. I know it's disgusting, but hey, there we go. So let's get rid of this. The amount of times I've done that and then lost where it actually was. Come on, there we go. That's an auspicious start, isn't it, when I can't even pull the needle through? I hope you can see that. There we go. Okay, let's do this. So, as I was saying, the weather's been a bit crappy. There was the snow on Sunday. It hung around on Monday, so it meant driving into work before I got onto the motorway was a little bit dicey. There was a couple of accidents within a few minutes of my house, so you know, that was a good start. But I managed to get to work safely, and to be honest, by the time I left work on the Monday, you know, there was still snow around, you know, where it had piled a bit higher, and it, you know, it takes a while for it to fully melt, but it was just miserable, as it is this time of year, unless you're south of the equator. It's just bloody miserable, isn't it? And when I thought about what I was going to do today as to whether or not to go into the office or to work from home, I was like, nope, I am going to work from home. I mean, that does mean I do still have to actually go in tomorrow, but you know, I got quite a lot done at home today, and like I said, at lunch I was able to break out the old sewing and finish off that dog lovers, and that just sounds rude whenever I say that title. Maybe that's just my mind. I always go to the gutter. But I just was glad to get that one done. I mean, it's a lovely pattern. I mean, I've actually got the version they've done called Cat Lovers Live Here, but I honestly now do not see myself doing that one for quite some time, because I think if I hadn't have done that pattern twice, maybe I would have jumped on it, but it's, yeah, twice was enough for now. Maybe next year I'll as in, oh god, we nearly are next year, aren't we? Maybe towards the end of 2022 I'll break out the Cat Lovers one. But if you're interested in them, it's Puntini. I have shown them in previous videos. I am not going to be inserting pictures on this one because I am not going to be doing any editing. So what you get is what you get, basically. What are we doing on here? The pattern is I'm using Pattern Keeper for this, because, you know, as anybody who has ever used Pattern Keeper will tell you, it is a absolute godsend for when you're doing for when you're doing any kind of pattern like this, or even if it's not a full coverage type pattern, it's still really good. But I primarily use it for my Carolyn Manning and my Heaven and Earth design ones. Everything else I have on GoodNotes on my iPad. So what I will do is I will scan if it's a paper pattern I've got, because I for some reason I've not had much success in putting those type of ones onto Pattern Keeper. So what I will do instead is I will scan them. I've got a small printer, home office printer that's got a scanner on. So I will scan the pattern and upload it to my Google Drive, and then I will just upload it directly onto GoodNotes, and it then allows you to, if I can show you, just in case there's people out there who haven't seen it. Right, so this, you won't be able to tell anything. I'm not even going to tell you what pattern this is. So using GoodNotes, up on the top here, these are editing tools. So if I want to, let me just delete off some of this for now. So I'll just get rid of those lines. There we go. So this is a PDF. This was a paper pattern that I have scanned, then just uploaded it onto my drive, and then when it then transfers onto GoodNotes, it kind of like converts it into a PDF, and then I just click the highlighter there, and then I can hang on, there we go. Then I can highlight what I've done. So it's I find it very useful. And the thing that this does that I can't, well, I don't think I can do on Pattern Keeper, is when I've got a big cue snap. So say, for example, if I'm working up here and I'm having to reach a bit to get it, I like to flip it round sometimes. So it's now down this corner here. And on here, you can just, if you just press that, it allows you to rotate the page by you know, by 90 or 180, and I found that very useful when I was doing my long dog pilgrim, but I don't think you can do that on Pattern Keeper, so that is one thing that is that can be a bit annoying, but that's just a very small quibble. I'm talking about a long dog. I am just about to, this month in December, we're not quite there yet, got another day to go, which is another, you know, headache by itself. But in next month I'm going to do a couple of new starts, and one of the ones I'm going to do is the long dog, because I have finally decided which one I'm going to do. I'm going to be doing You Belong to Me, which is the new one. I can show you that on here as well. I'm sorry, this is going to be a lot of me showing you random things on my my iPad, so I do apologise. Here we go. So that's this one. So I'm going to do this, and I'm going to do it on, it's vintage grey Zweigart 32 count, and I'm going to be using DMC Thread, because this was not one I had planned to do. So I had planned to do pointed fifth, or is that what it's, I think it's pointed fifth, and I had bought a gorgeous purple silk for Silks for You, and because this is one I've kind of like snuck in under the radar, I wasn't gonna buy a whole another load of silk. But what I've decided instead is to do it in this colour. It's this gorgeous pinky colour, and this is 718, DMC 718. So I did a little test here because I couldn't decide between 820 or this 718, but then decided to go with the 718. So it's 32 count, so I'll be doing it 2/2. I probably will put it into Pattern Keeper, but I may also put it onto GoodNotes for just those awkward positions if I do decide I want to flip it round or whatever. But anyway, yeah, so that's going to be a start I'm going to do in December, because I've managed to get my active whips. So there's I'll discuss this in my next full Flosstube, but I've kind of like archived a couple of whips that I'm not UFOing, so I'm not getting rid of them and going to just not touch them again, but I'm going to pop them to one side to maybe next year at some point, maybe, you know, some so I've got my active whips down to, let me just bring it back up, and I was on the spreadsheet already. Oh, God. I've got it to, let's see, where are they? Here they are. So it is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. I've got my active whips down to 12. So remember, that is, I've got more than 12 whips, but some of those whips I've now kind of like moved aside. So for example, I've got 3 Heaven and Earth, so I've got Flutter and Deco, and then the latest one, which I'm doing, like my dad's one, if you like, I'm doing because my dad selected it, which is Evening. But what I want to do is just concentrate on doing the evening one for the next however long. So I've kind of moved my other 2 Hades, Flutter and Deco, which are full size ones. So Evening is a mini one. I've moved those 2 in kind of like my archive list. So I'm not UFOing them. I most certainly am not UFOing them because I love both of them. But because my dad selected this one, I'm going to concentrate on making as much progress as I can on Evening, so I can, I can keep him apprised of the progress on that. So because of that, the whips that I'm actually going to be stitching on, I've gone down to 12, and that's including this one that I'm just starting on now. So, apparently I have decided I'm going to work across this way, which is odd because normally I work down here, but never mind, I'll just go with that flow. I hope you can see this okay. So anyway, yes, what was my original point here, by the way? I was talking about work. Oh, right, okay. Nope, can't remember what the original point was. I'm sure it'll come back to me at some point. But yeah, so I'm going to be starting You Belong to Me using that lovely pink thread. So that's going to be started at some point in December, as well as, well, I'm second guessing myself as I'm thinking about it now, because I was going to start a new Cricut collection one called Frost, which is oh, I'm just going to see if I can find it. Have I got it in an easy to reach? But yes, I do. So I was, nope, that's not it. Oh. Is this it? Yes, this is it. Sorry. My cat's next to me just looking at me in mild annoyance. I was going to start this one. I may still do that, but I want to get the other Cricut collection one I've got at the moment, which is the winter one, done and dusted first. So because this isn't necessarily a Christmas one, it is more a, yeah, I don't know, is it maybe a late autumn and winter one? I don't know, but it's not necessarily a Christmas one. This doesn't necessarily have to be, there's no rush to do this, but I also like this pattern here as well. And I've just dyed some 14 count Aida that I had left over, a nice purple colour, to possibly do that. But this, I suppose now, because I'm second guessing myself and talking myself out of it a little bit, is a potential start for December. Let me just, I have the material here ready for it. There we go. It's a nice Zweigart. It's light green 28 count that I had left over from another one I did a while ago. And I've got the DMC, it's all DMC on that one. So definitely You Belong to Me. This one that I'm starting now. And then there's potentially a Plum Street one that I'm going to start. So those are my December new starts. Because, because I just want to do some new starts, basically. And why the hell not? I have figured out about myself that I'm not a, hang on, am I doing this right? 1, 2, 3, 4, yeah. I'm not a monogamous stitcher. Monogamous stitcher. I can pretty much do a couple of days on one, and then I like to switch on to something else. I might have a bit of a focus piece where either I'll do a little bit every day on one, or I'll do it on 1 or 2 days every week. So for example, now that I've got those 2 Christmas gifts out of the way, I'm going to go back to doing evening every weekend. And obviously I'm also doing the Witchy Stitcher one the Witchy Stitcher Stitch Along that is dropping every Friday. I'm doing that one. But I don't necessarily like stitching non-stop on one pattern. I kind of found that out when I was trying to finish my first long dog, Pilgrim. I basically, at the end, put my head down and just did days and days on that. And by the end of it, I was ready to start killing people. Luckily, the end result was so amazing. As in, the pattern was amazing, that the stitching's not perfect, but the overall result, especially when you stood at a distance and you can't quite see the mistakes, was so cool. And you know, it's such a brilliant pattern that you kind of forget the pain. But while I was doing that, I realised that I like to switch projects, and that has been true in the last week, because pretty much for the last week I've concentrated on just getting those 2 Christmas gift ones out of the way and done. And yeah, I'm not going to say I've not enjoyed it, because I enjoy, you know, I do enjoy stitching, but I think what didn't help was the fact that I was stitching the same thing twice, and every time I was like, oh my god, I've already done this once, is this not over yet? So, and again, that's not a thing against the pattern, it's a lovely pattern, but it's just not necessarily, you know, something I would want to stitch twice. So let's just say I'm very relieved that it is now done and I can move on to the next thing. So my plan is, hang on a minute, let me just bring that up. Oops, oh boy, lost the thread there. Well, that's my life, I've lost the thread. My plan is doing this in this stitch with me, and I'll probably do stitch with me's every couple of weeks, and I will do this one. But I want to try and have a finish, not necessarily for this year, but get as close as you know what to finishing All Soul Veer Laden, which is my Quiltify design one that I'm doing on that gorgeous Sea Witch fabric from Chromatic Alchemy. So I'd say I'm about 2/3 done of it, or maybe even slightly more. I've done most of the big, let me see if I can show you. I've done the bulk of the larger motifs, that was the word I was looking for, motifs on it, but there are still quite a few smaller ones that need doing, so that's what I need to do. But I'd really like to see that one done, really would. I'm a weird combo of a process stitcher. I enjoy the process of stitching, but then again I do enjoy seeing finishes. You know, I do try for at least one finish per month. So I've got a mix of smaller projects and larger projects. So what I'll although I haven't at the moment, but what I generally try to do is have something like a Good Morning Maui or something like that, something nice and small that is a travel stitch one, because it'll be on 14 count Aida, so I can do it at my parents' house where it's easy to see, blah blah blah, but also it's a quick win, and you know, you feel good that you've finished it. So I have got another one to do, and that it's a Breaking Bad one, which is really funny, but that one I'm going to start probably in January. I'll just get December out of the way. But for this All Souls one, this is the next one that I really want to concentrate on getting finished. I'm not quite decided yet how I'm going to fully finish it. That's a puzzler yet. I'm still thinking that one through, because I did it on 28 count, so it is quite big. Again, this was all done. That was one of, well, I'm not saying again, I've not discussed it in this video, but in my previous video I mentioned that on some of the pieces I perhaps would have chosen different fabrics if I know now what I knew then, because some of the ones I've chosen are higher count fabrics, and they're quite large, when if I'd have just gone for, even just gone from 28 to 32, that knocks quite a bit off. Do you know something? I'm really struggling today for some reason to get the bloody needle through the holes. I'm just wondering if it's because this is like really new Aida that's not been manipulated in any way, and it's still quite tough. What the hell is going on here? Why is it not loading this pattern? Oh, I don't know what it's playing at there. What am I doing? It's so funny that when I finish this, if I realise that I've done all of this wrong. That did actually happen on my last Stitch With Me. I wonder if my Tintinet's gone a bit funny. My last Stitch With Me, I had finished, and I was looking at what I'd done, and I suddenly realised that a couple of these I'd done the wrong way around, and it was like, oh my god. So I had to pick out quite a bit of what I'd just done during the Stitch With Me. So yeah, that was fun. Maybe that should tell me that I need to concentrate a bit more on the stitching when I'm doing these. But anywho, yes, so All Souls via Leyden. I did warn you at the beginning of this that this one was going to be a bit choppy. You're basically getting a brain dump from me. This is what I'm like in real life. I just kind of like go off all over the shop and drive people insane. And now I get to drive you insane. However, the difference being is you have the ability to just hit the pause button, or, you know, click out of YouTube or click onto the next video, and really you should feel sorry for all those poor sods that don't have that ability and have to actually sit or stand there and listen to me. Yeah, I think there is an issue with my Tinternet. No, it's bringing, no, it's not. It's an issue with the drive. Never mind. So this is the last picture I took of All Souls via Leyden. So these are all the main things and the main motifs. There's, I think, another one there and there, then some things along the bottom here, then there's the border, and then at the top here will be the alphabet. So that is what I am looking to do. I've just realised why that wouldn't bring up that All Souls via Leyden chart, because I was clicking on the wrong thing. Where is the front sheet for this? I am not doing well today. Seriously, I am not doing well today. I think we just need to abandon ship on showing the full picture for All Souls We're Laden. Unless, have I just been sat here with it right next to me? Sorry, just nudge that then. Yep, I've been sat here and it's right next to me. Okay, so there's the pattern. So I have that motif to do there and these things. So I've done that one. I've just got these things at the bottom to do. Then there's a couple of these that need doing. Well, quite a few of those that need doing, but they don't take long at all. And then the alphabet across the top. So I'm going to concentrate on getting as much of that done as possible. I'm not setting myself up the target of finishing it today. Well, I'm definitely not setting up the target to finish it today. This year, but I would like that to be my next big finish. And then I get to agonise over how I'm going to fully finish it. But for now, I would like to see that one finished. And then I can move on to concentrating onto another one. But there's that and winter. And then keeping up with my witchy stitch along, which I've done really well because I basically had absolutely no social life. And Friday afternoon or early evening here in the UK, when it generally drops at around 5:30, once I've got home from work, I normally just sit down and start stitching on that. And then sometimes I'm able to finish it on the Friday, or sometimes I'll finish it off on the Saturday. Why am I stitching so slow? I don't understand. I just seem to have gone on half speed with my stitching there. Yeah, so anywho, oh dear, really don't want to go into work tomorrow. I don't know what it is, but I've just found myself struggling to get back into, not back into working, but getting my mindset back into being passionate about my job and, you know, all gung-ho and all of that kind of stuff. I mean, apart from one time when I was made redundant and it took me a little bit to, right, hang on a minute, sorry, 1, 2, 3. So part 1, 2, 3, oh phew, I thought I'd just done one too many of these because this next one is just a half one. Apart from a time when I was made redundant and it took me a while to get a new job, I've pretty much been in work non-stop. Well, pretty much been in work full-time non-stop since I left university. And from the age of 16 to when I finished university, I worked part-time as well as my full-time education gig. So I found myself in jobs where they were the kind of jobs where you couldn't just, you know, you just do a day's work and then you shut off whatever and then you come home. There've been jobs where they've been, you know, they've followed you home kind of thing, and you've been planning stuff at home, or you take work home, or blah blah blah. And I've never minded. I mean, I am currently single. I don't have any children, so, you know, it's not as if I'd have to come home and I'd, you know, have to deal with the kids, or, well, there've been times when I've had to have dealt with a partner, but you know, I'll have come home and I'll have been obsessed with the job, especially once I found the work I'm in at the moment. And I've been doing this for quite some time now, and all the compliance elements of it, there's lots of things you needed to study, lots of things you needed to read up on, that you needed to be expert level on, so to speak, because you were the ones who'd be answering everybody else's questions about whether or not certain things could be done, blah blah blah. So, but I love that. I love the continual learning, and Sorry, bear with me 1 second, let me take a drink. Picking up new skills. I then realised that I love things like doing training, so I've oops, just pressed the wrong button on pattern keeper there. So, you know, in my job I started to have to do things like training and producing training documentation and processes and procedures, coming up with things from scratch, setting up new departments and blah 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 blah, and I loved it. And every day I would go in, there'd be a new challenge, because the industry I'm in, there's always something that's happening that you have to react to. You've got to think on your feet, you've got to deal with lots of people, make sure your staff are up to scratch, all this kind of thing. And I've had to deal with HR stuff, blah 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 blah, and I've loved it. And then just before the lockdown started, I got a new job. And that was, no, sorry, let me go back a little bit before then. About a year or so before the lockdown, I just basically achieved the highest qualification I could in the role I do. And it meant a radical change in what my job role would be. I'd step up quite a bit, and that was brilliant. And then I got a new job based on this new role. And then lockdown started. First of all, I got placed on furlough, and then unfortunately they had to make me redundant, which I understood. Panicked a little bit at that point, because I was like, oh my god, is this happening again? Is it gonna, a combination of being made redundant and also the lockdown? And I really did wonder, okay, so yes, I do have this qualification, and these this job role is something that is required, but still, because it's, at that time it was right at the beginning of the lockdown, and everybody was kind of like taking a step back and doing hiring and things like that till they could decide what was going to happen. So I was a little bit worried, but then I got a job within a few weeks of being made redundant, and I was like, oh my god, this is brilliant. Now, I'm not going to go into everything that happened here. I've touched on it in previous videos. The only thing I will say is it was basically a year of hell, but there were times during that when I was working very intensely, because the whole point of this new job was I was setting something up from the ground to my specs, to how I wanted it. So instead of me doing it for other people, which is what I'd been doing for years previous to that, I was now going to be doing it for myself, taking into account all the experience I've had of seeing the good, the bad and the ugly on this side of thing, and how I wanted it to be done, and I was so excited about it. But then when it became apparent that things were happening or things were going wrong and everything else, and it all started to slow down, and I started to lose my motivation, lose my mojo on this. And as the year progressed and we eventually got to August of this year, my morale, now I'm not going to say confidence in myself, because I still know all my stuff, but my motivation, my mood level, and again, I'm not going to claim in any way, shape or form that I suffered from depression or anything like that. I would not categorise it as that, because I don't want to hang my my coat on that peg when it was not. It was just a case of an event had happened that had really affected me, and it's just literally been a case of I found it more difficult this time than when I was made redundant last time, when I was out of work for like 5 months. I found it a lot more difficult this time to pull myself back up and to get myself back to that level of motivation that I was prior to all of this happening. And I'm still kind of like having to every morning give myself a kick up my own backside to say, come on Catherine, just come on, you can't just, I mean, part of me blames bloody sewing, because let's face it, I'm now obsessed with sewing, and a lot of the time I'm like, oh, I could be at home sewing on my long dog, oh, I could be at home starting on this. But it's not, it's not really that. If I wasn't doing sewing, it'd be some other thing that I'd be like, oh, well, I wish I was at home watching Gilmore Girls again, or rewatching all of Supernatural, or whatever, or starting Star Trek again from scratch, you know, but chronologically this time, starting with Discovery and then, you know, nerding out on it, or reading The Wheel of Time, which I have now decided to start on. So there would be something if it wasn't sewing. I mean, I'm glad it's sewing because you get beautiful products at the end of it, but I'm like, come on, Catherine, come on. And it's like, okay, from Monday, you're going to be, you know, you're going to do it from Monday. You're going to do it. You're going to get out there. You're going to have the motivation. You're going to have your get up and go. And then Monday comes and goes, and it's like, oh my God, do I have to? And it's like this totally alien thing. And for the first time in a very long time, I am clock watching at work. And that to me says everything. Sorry, before I carry on with that, I don't know why I'm apologising, you may not be any shape or form interested. I just need to do some counting. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Let me do this very quickly. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And then just let me check, because I am of the double check about a million times school. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Yeah, okay. So yeah, I am. But it's not just about work. It's about looking after myself, and I mean, I think my cats are the only things that have not kind of slipped just a little bit. You know, it's maybe a week and a half to 2 weeks before I get the Hoover out, and you know, all of that, you know, it's little things like that. I mean, I kind of made myself a rule that I have to like clean the kitchen and do the pots and that every night. So, you know, the kitchen's always spotless, so at least there's that. And the cat litter's done twice a day, and then once a week there's, or I should say every 6 days, they have a proper like scrub out kind of thing. So like that's not, and I don't allow myself to, even, you know, even at weekends and things like that, I don't allow myself to lie in bed. So, you know, there are things that I've not allowed myself to do, but I still know I am very different from how I was pre all of this. And I know a lot of people are in the same boat, and I know I am damn lucky that I was able to find the job I've got now. And it's, fingers crossed, seems to be a stable one, and I'm getting on well. Okay, oh my God, this is what I mean about not concentrating. I've just done it the wrong way around. Good God, woman. You know, fingers crossed it is stable and they're in a good position. But I think what it is as well is I'm just suspicious about everything now. And this is something I never used to be before. Every time somebody says something to me, like you know, one of the directors or something like that, I'm like, are you actually telling me the truth there, or is that a bunch of bullshit? Because it's my experience for the past year has really coloured it, really coloured my attitude towards things, because, you know, I was working at a place where I would be told that black was white, and you know, people, you know, swearing to me that certain things were happening when it turns out it was all a bunch of bullshit. And, you know, it's really kind of like affected my trust levels, and it means I'm constantly anxious about what's happening. And I have never been that way. And I hate it. I hate being that way, because I know that's not who I am. I mean, there's always certain levels of anxiety about things, which, you know, which can be good, but this is just, yeah. So, anywho, I'm just hoping that get this year out of the way. I've got some time off on the lead up to Christmas. I'm looking forward, I'm really looking forward to doing these little, I'm going to do kind of like a vlogmas, but I'm not actually going to be posting something every day because I've not got time to do that, and the next week and a bit are actually going to be a bit hellish at work. So, well, more than that, but especially the next week and a bit. And so what I will be doing is in the morning I will just do a very quick video. I might even do it just in this format here, where, you know, you just get to see my lovely hands, where I just open the thing and maybe give you a quick look at what I did the previous night, and then I'll cobble it all together at the weekend and maybe post it Sunday night. But I am actually really looking forward to do that. A, because I've like been so good and stopped myself from opening the 24 little gift thing I got, the advent thing I got from Patchwork Rabbit. So I'm really looking forward to opening that. But no, if I just want to get this year out of the way. I've booked off so work have been really nice, and they're giving us all off the Thursday, Friday, the 2 days before Christmas, which is on the Saturday. So I booked off, well, I'm hoping to book off the Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. So I'll have all of that week, plus obviously the Saturday and Sunday before then. So it'll be like 9 days, and then it'll be the 2 days that you're in between, 2 or 3 days you're in between Christmas and New Year. So, you know, it'll be a really nice break, and I'm just hoping that I can maybe get myself, you know, kick-started, just kind of like, you know, put that rocket up my backside kind of thing and get back into it. I mean, I'm doing everything that's needed at work, and I'm getting involved in everything I need to get involved in, but I can just, you know, when you just know yourself that you're not quite, well, you're not quite yourself. Well, that's how I'm feeling. And I mean, I know I joked a bit ago about how I'm keeping up with the witchy stitcher thing, but I've kind of, you know, used the whole COVID thing as a excuse just to finally hit my goal of becoming the mad Catwoman hermit that just like stays in a house and talks to her cats all day long, and is not healthy. You know, it's not brilliant. I need to get out more, even if it's like just getting out there to do more exercise and to, you know, get walking. So that's one thing I am going to start, is just getting out every day and just walking. I'm struggling at the moment doing other exercise because I've got a bloody, what they think is a frozen shoulder, but thankfully I've got my appointment with the consultant on the 9th, so I will hopefully get that checked out then. And I used to do the bike, but I can't do that because I've got psoriatic arthritis in my coccyx now, so it's absolute murder to sit on a bike. And I can't do the cross trainer at the moment because of my arm. So I'm going to be brutally honest here, I've just used that as an excuse to be a lazy heifer and just sit here, talk to my cats and stitch. The actual accomplishment of this whole COVID thing that I'm actually more proud of than anything else is that I've not actually put any weight on from the start of the COVID lockdown to now. But the bad thing is I didn't lose any weight. And then you look on, you know, all these people who have accomplished so much during the same time frame, and you just want to stab them. And I'm sorry that was in poor taste, but you know what I mean. You just want to tell them to bugger off or something like that. So yeah. And do you know something else as well? I've had all of these plans to go and see X, Y, and Z at the cinema. And do you know, I've got this right, yeah. Do you know how many things I have actually been and seen? 1. That's it. I went to see Free Guy. That is it. Didn't go and see June. Really wanted to go see June, and then just, it was like, oh, I can't be bothered. I didn't go and see, what else? I didn't go and see Black Widow. I didn't go and see the new James Bond one, any of these things. And it's like, oh my God, who are you? So anyway, that is what my plan is for December. November's out the way. I've done those Christmas presents. I'm now going to start kicking my butt, get my head back in the game, start making proper plans for myself and sticking to the plans. Start being, you know, getting out of the house more, even if initially that is just going out for half an hour walk or whatever. I even used the excuse that I broke my earbuds, but that is no longer an excuse because I have bought new ones. So yeah, so I'm going to start getting out there and walking. Yeah, even, you know, with crappy weather, it doesn't matter. You can still go for a walk. And I'm just going to, you know, try not to be so anxious about every single thing at work. Every time somebody goes into a meeting and I'm not in the meeting, and I'm like, oh my God, are they discussing they need to get rid of me? I mean, that's how sad it's become, you know. Not because, well, no, in a previously it would be because I'm a nosy bugger and I want to know what's going on. But now it's been, okay, I'll be brutally honest here, it's perhaps been 10% I'm a nosy bugger and I want to know what's going on. But 90% of it has been, oh my God, are they discussing me? Is there an issue? Am I gonna, you know, are they gonna turn around and say, oh, we know we don't need you now? So, you know, first in, first out kind of thing. Last in, first out kind of thing. So, yeah. I'm still stitching really, really slowly here. Icky thump, never mind. But anywho, what time? Oh my God, we're at 58 minutes. I have literally just rambled on about nothing. I am so sorry. Let's bring this to topic. So I hope for any of you who celebrate Thanksgiving that you had a lovely day. For everybody else, hope you've had a nice week. I hope you're all doing well. I made some plans with my parents actually. Last year I had to cancel my plans for Christmas, where I was going to stay with my parents and just enjoy a nice quiet Christmas with them. But this year, because we're all triple jabbed, yeah, I went to that, I went to get my booster, and they were like, oh, do you want to know what you're getting? I'm like, I do not give a crap, just get it in there. Because, and my parents are also triple jabbed, what I will do is I will take a test. Well, I booked those days off as well, and for those days I am actually going to avoid to go near people for the lead up to Christmas, Christmas Eve and Christmas, but I'm going to do that. I'm just going to maybe go into shops and that and just like mask up and all of that, but keep as far away from people as I can, purely so that I can then go to my parents and actually stay over. So what I will do is I will take a test the day of Christmas Eve when I'm going up there, and so long as that is negative, then I'm going to go up, and I'm actually going to stay over Christmas Eve and Christmas Day. So I'll go home Boxing Day, the Sunday, and I am really, really looking forward to that. Okay, where does this go next? Let me... I've not been marking things off, that's clever of me. Okay, it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Right, it's another 10 jump, so bear with me. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. There we go. So yes, so I'm going to purposely stay out of people's way for those days, but it's for the selfish reason that I can then spend, you know, a full day, you know, oh, excuse me 1 second. I can spend some time, you know, a good amount of time with my parents over Christmas. So I am actually really looking forward to that. It'll be nice. And I have a ton of automatic cat food dispenser things, you know, with a timer on to do for the cats. So I'll feed them if I leave Christmas Eve later on in the afternoon. So I'll feed them then, a good portion then. And then I can get away with doing a feed, 2 feeds on Christmas Day, and then I'll be home in the morning on Boxing Day. So it's, you know, although I've got 5 of them, I've got more than enough timer things to make sure that they, you know, they're not going to starve anyway. My cats are not going to starve if they didn't, you know, but they are incredibly spoilt. So, oh, do you know what? I've done it again. I do not sodding believe it. I've done exactly the same thing that I did here. I carumba. This is what happens when you're gabbing on and you're not concentrating properly. Hang on, it's easier to do using this snag thingy-majiggy. I have not really stitched that much. And I'm going to eat when I've done this, and then I'm going to put this away because I really, 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 really have a hankering to stitch on that All Souls Verladen. And the reason I didn't do it on this is you've seen how much trouble I've had doing it on this easy fabric. And this is an easy one. Can you imagine how much trouble I'd have stitching on? It's a very dark, what you saw in the picture, that dark fabric, and it's very tight weave because obviously it's been over dyed quite considerably to get that colour. So I need all the help I can get with that, so I'll need magnification galore on that one, whereas this, just so long as I have a good light, I don't need any magnification. So these are perfect for doing on these kind of videos. So I'll finish this. And what we at? Oh yeah, I think I will let you go. I have rambled on about rubbish for far too long. And yeah, I mean, I know I am incredibly lucky. You know, yes, I lost my jobs, or I had to leave one job, but I had my parents to help me. I had some very good friends, some very understanding friends, and I was able to find new jobs quite quickly. Yes, it's the year from hell job has left me with a few large financial things and some remnants of feeling like crap, but I have to now start remembering that there are, I've got to remember that there are people out there who have been through far worse hell than, I can't even classify mine as going through hell, but they've properly been through it over the last nearly 2 years, and what I've been through is really quite mild in comparison. So yeah, that's another of those things where I say I've just got to start kicking myself up the backside and shaking off this reticence and just get on with it, and get on with it and get over yourself kind of thing. But anywho, I will try to do another one of these, which I hope will be a lot more cheery, before Christmas, before the 25th, but I can't promise that. I plan to do those weekly drops with, showing what I'll show what I've stitched. In a way, kind of, they're like little vlogs, because I'll open a present and show you what I stitched the previous night, if I've stitched anything, and if anything of note happened, I'll give you a quick rundown kind of thing. So I guess they'll kind of like be almost like weekly Flosstube drops. But then what I will do at the end of the year, I will do a end of year wrap up kind of thing, and a whip parade. I might do a Flosstube and a whip parade, either as one or two separate things, but we shall see. I'm not going to make any solid plans, because this month is going to be I will stitch whatever the hell I want, when I want. Well, obviously not while I'm working, but I'm not going to make myself, well, not guilty, but make plans and then just in no way, shape or form stick to them. So other than trying to finish my All Souls Day laden and starting that long dog, they're my only two solid things for December. But on a cheerier note, it is, what is it now? It is 20 to 7. I've started this. I've had to frog it twice, but it started. I feel happy with my decision to start this one. Once I hit 50% on this one, I can then start the next Carolyn Manning one. That is going to be my rule with these Carolyn Manning ones. Otherwise, I'll have about 20 of them and nothing else. And then I think I might get a little bit sick of just doing these. So I think if I do it this way, it'll keep them nice and fresh, and I'll keep enjoying stitching them. But yeah, like I said, I'm going to pop this one away for now, and then I will set up my All Souls Day laden. Or nope, I'm going to have some spaghetti bolognese. That's what I'm going to do next. I'm going to eat. I am still gutted that I'm going to miss my Zoom with Erin tonight. Last time I did actually come on at 12 o'clock and stay for half an hour or so, but I'm not even going to be able to do that tonight because I am shattered. So I'm going to actually be good and have a kind of early-ish night tonight, because like I said, it's going to be a bit hectic at work for the next week and a bit, so I don't want to be lagging behind on that. Listen, I hope you're all really, really well. If you've managed to get through to the end of here, well done. You deserve a medal. You know, if you've not already subscribed, please do subscribe. Please hit the bell if you want to be notified about any new videos that are going to drop. But other than that, I really do hope you're all safe and well, and you know that you're doing everything you can, however it is that you do that. Oh God, excuse me. The voice hasn't quite warmed up yet. And I will, you know, if anyone has any questions about anything that I've covered today or any of the materials I'm doing this on a Lowry stand, by the way. I'll move you ever so slightly so you can see. I've got my little corner clamp on there. So it keeps it, it keeps it nice and solid for me while I'm stitching. So if you have any other questions about anything that I've used or any of the patterns, please do let me know. Or if you just want to say hi, just put a comment down below, or even, you know, on Instagram. I usually do post quite regularly on Instagram any updates on my finishes and whatnot. But yeah, just very quickly, for any of my regulars who are watching this, I maybe should have said this at the beginning, please note that whenever you do leave a comment, I really do appreciate it, because everybody's always so lovely in those comments. And there's a couple of you out there that do comment very regularly, and I really, really, really do appreciate it. It's absolutely lovely when they come through. There's one or two people in particular, especially those that I do message a lot on Instagram. I think you know who you are. I love you loads. I really do appreciate it. It really does make me feel happy when I do get those comments. So I do always try to respond back as quickly as possible. Every now and then it takes a little bit longer than I would like. Half the time it's because I've noticed the comment and then I've got somebody coming in my office asking me a question, and then I completely forget what I was doing, and then I'll come back to it that evening. I'm like, oh god damn it, I meant to bloody respond to that. But anyway, I really do appreciate it. So I'm going to leave it there. I'm going to let you go. I'm sorry that this one may have been a bit of a Debbie Downer one, but apparently I just needed to get that off my chest, because I do actually feel better for that. It's kind of like a little one-on-one therapy session there for myself. But I'll speak to you soon. I will definitely be on before the festive period. I know not everybody celebrates Christmas and that, so let's just say holiday period. And yeah, I will hopefully speak to you all soon, and everybody keep safe and well, please.